Hi, I am Dr. Anthony Edwards, and I'm an assistant professor at Charleston State University. And as a part of this presentation on Beyond the Coursework Wraparound Support for EDD students, I wanted to talk about ways in which I contribute to the department. So, in one of these supports that we use are called the project progress checkpoints that have probably already been discussed. But in a sense, just as a quick overview, as students are developing their problems of practice before they get to the dissertation, we're helping them refine their problems of practice along the way from the beginning of their journey as doctoral students. And so, essentially, a lot of our students that are kind of year one and year two are formulating their problems of practice, and they turn in a progress checkpoint, which kind of reviews the literature, kind of describes the problem, defines the problem that they want to study, um, and depending on how far along they've gotten with their project or their problem of practice, kind of how they intend to study that problem. So I was one of the professors who was tasked with reviewing these progress checkpoints and providing feedback to students on how they can essentially figure out exactly what they want to study. They may have a general topic, but how do we turn that into one or more research questions that could be tested using some methodology, and what's the appropriate methodology given the research question, and that is, I think, been helpful to give feedback to students so that they know, essentially how do they transition from being practitioners to scholar practitioners, but also just getting that confidence that they're making progress, I think, is really important in getting feedback along the way. And it's also helped me in terms of identifying who are students that might be ideal partners in terms of being their dissertation chair or being on their committee. I think it's been really helpful for both me as the instructor and for them as the students in developing them, supporting them, keeping them engaged throughout their journey, so they're not just kind of floating until they get to the dissertation phase, if they get that far, and then falling off the map at that point. They're already starting to think through what they're going to submit as a proposal. The second wraparound support that I've been involved with is the 14-day writing challenge. I know Dr. Rohn, Dr. Mishnick have been really, really instrumental in sort of building that and creating that. And I've been one of the instructors who's been fortunate in order to be able to contribute to that. We used Flip, I believe was the technology that we used. But basically we all recorded video suggestions of ways to either improve your writing or to be consistent with writing. You can add music, you can add kind of headers or just some basic graphics. But it's a really simple tool, and again, it's another way. It's particularly with a lot of our students who are we have an online cohort, or students that are kind of meeting in sort of a hybrid type format for classes. I think it's really important for them to get to see us and interact with us, and to know that we're not just someone who's posting things in our learning management system. They get to know us, and so I think it's a really important support. I've had students who have emailed me and said, "Hey, I really enjoyed your video. Your suggestion was really helpful for me." So I know they make a difference, and for each individual person, there's probably some professor that stood out the most to them. But getting the range of ideas and experiences from different faculty members, I think, is really helpful, because being consistent with writing is just something that doesn't always come naturally for us. And so I think learning what other people are doing to be consistent writers, and to get things done more quickly and efficiently in writing a dissertation, I think is a great skill for students to develop. So again, just to summarize, the two supports that I talked about again were the progress checkpoints and the 14-day writing challenge. As we discussed, are areas of wraparound support for EDD students. Thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. Bye.